NCAA, in true cowardly fashion, is changing course, right? They don't want to be responsible. They don't want to be accountable for this. So what they're doing now is a phase-out approach of this policy and leaving it up to each specific sport governing body to make their own rules, right? So now for swimming, they would resort to looking at World Aquatics or FINA, which is the international governing body. For soccer, they'd look at FIFA. For rowing, they'd look at U.S. rowing. They don't want a blanket policy anymore. And again, they don't want to be responsible or accountable.
So they're leaving it up to the governing bodies, and what decision have the governing bodies made?
Some have taken appropriate steps. I don't know of many sports that have been perfect, but swimming, for example, their policy now is if you've gone through male puberty, you can't compete with women, which they were really the first ones to take that bold first step in prioritizing fairness over inclusion. But the policy insinuates if you have transitioned by the age of 12, then you can compete with the women, which is not satisfactory. Even taking puberty blockers before the age of 12, there are still advantages that males possess over females. And even if they didn't, it's the women's category. Yeah. It's not for men. Yeah. So, and then you have other sports that have gone the total opposite way, like soccer, for example, that leave it up to, self-identification. Basically, you just compete where you feel best.
Oh, how convenient.
Isn't it? Which at this national championships, right? This national championships where we had Leah Thomas, who is a man, self-identifying as a woman. We were told we fully had to treat this person as a woman, right? This same national championships, we had another athlete who was transitioning. But this athlete is a female who was then self-identifying as a man from Yale. Izzy now goes by the name of Isaac. And we were told we fully had to treat this person as a man. Optics purposes here, to give you perspective of what this looked like from our eyes. Okay, finals of the 100 freestyle. Top 8 women in the entire nation.
Air quotes women.
Air quotes women. Yeah, for those that don't have video, air quotes women. Top 8 women in the entire country. And you've got a 6'4" man in a women's swimsuit with a bulge next to a woman wearing only a Speedo with nothing covering her top. Your reaction was my reaction, because I'm sitting there watching this. I'm thinking to myself, it's me. I'm the crazy one. It must be. This is the freaking Twilight Zone.
How does the audience react to this? Like when Leah Thomas gets on the block, when they're about to start a race, how does the audience react to this?
As you can imagine, right? Like there was a lot of silence. A lot of people didn't really know what to do, what to say. There wasn't a lot of clapping. There was a lot of like protesters and like trans rights activists who were there, who were being loud, and the posters and blah, blah, blah. Lots of booing. Kelly J. Keane was there, who is a phenomenal women's rights activist out of England, and she was there, and she, I'll never forget, I'm standing on the pool deck, and at this point in time, like, of course, me and all my teammates and my coaches, we all knew this was wrong, but it's still, I didn't know how to talk about it or what to say or what outlet to go to, and I remember hearing her from the stands, and she just said something that we were all thinking, and she yelled so loud, "He's a cheater." And I was like, oh my gosh, I needed to hear that. So there was a lot of booing, as you can imagine, lots of silence.
And through this, so you have the loud trans rights protesters. And is there anyone countering that? Are there loud pro-women sports protesters?
There were. Not as loud, if I'm going to be honest, not as ugly, which I think that gets a lot of media time when you have these men with beards and these big signs. That certainly catches a lot of cameras. So they were definitely there. And looking back, like I said, like being able to see them It inspired me. It gave me courage to be willing to kind of put my name and face to it. Because I was scared at first, based on just kind of the silencing tactics that were used to keep us quiet, right? Like we were told, you'll never get a job if you speak out about this. Your employer is going to look you up and see that you're a transphobe. And you don't want that, do you? You don't want everyone to think that you're transphobic.
Was this a conversation that someone actually had with you?
Yeah. We had to go to training, Joe, to learn how to
accept that you're being cheated.
A senior in college.
Yeah.
21 years old.
Yeah.
They brought in an outside professional, again, air quotes, because what in the world, how can you be an outside professional who sat us down and taught us how to use she, her pronouns? Again, a senior in college. I'm like, am I really?
Taught you how? You, an actual she, her.
An actual she, her.
How do you use she, her pronouns?
We had to go through these interview questions. They'd throw a question at us. If we didn't answer their fake interview question to their standard, we had to go through it again.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Indoctrination.
Thomas's teammates, right, 16 of these girls, plus their parents at the beginning of the season, signed on to a letter expressing their discomfort in the locker room. I kid you not. The university responded back with, and I have a screenshot of their response, if you, as women, feel uncomfortable seeing male genitalia, here are some counseling resources that you should seek in an attempt to re-educate yourselves.
Re-educate yourself that that's a she-ness. That's not a penis.
It's a she-ness.
Oh.
Queeness penis.
So does Leah Thompson have sex with girls?
What?
Leah Thomas, rather.
Yeah. At the time, again, this is what I know based off of what his teammates have told me and what really has been public knowledge based off what they post and different things. At the time of that national championships, he was still dating women and active with women.
Sexually. So obviously has testosterone.
Yes. But now, again, based off of social media, he is engaged to another man who claims to be a woman. So two men, but they call themselves lesbians. So who knows?